So what exactly are white people superior at? Keeping it 100, black in America, cut. Cut. I wonder what the symbolism for cut is. I wonder why we see those scissors all the time. I wonder what they want you to cut. As you see, it's not doing too well, this particular video by this particular YouTube channel, and they have disabled the comments. So we're going to take a look at this together. I'm going to remind the YouTube community that this is 100% nonprofit, all right? So this is educational purposes, so please do not put any copyright strike or anything like that. And we're going to take a look at blatant racism towards white people because there's no other way to really describe it. And yeah, I guess brace yourselves because this is what Par for the Course, ButtFeed, and co. are doing on a daily basis. The 33 things about white people and all the other things that they put out on all the time, basically, right? So what exactly are white people superior at? And they're going to show you a bunch of black people. Now, I make fun of everyone, so just to make this clear, I make fun of everyone. Everyone knows this. I probably make fun of white people more than any other group. I don't really care what color you are. I don't give a damn. I'll make fun of you, all right? But let's take a look at the particular characters, or you could say maybe actors or what, that are responding to this staged sort of theatrics that we have coming from our controllers here. Keep it 100 is the hashtag with cut and Black Lives Matter. So let's listen in.
White people superior at?
Oh, well, according to television, everything. A white man could fly. Even a white woman, she could be 4'1". She knew karate. She could take down 15 people.
And they said 100 black folks. I guess. I don't know. I mean, is that the way that is maybe in the black community that's something that they want you instead of with the KS or something? I don't know, folks. In America to tell us what white people are superior at. So just to remind people, this is the website or the channel here. It's called Cut. It's got 10.1 million subscribers.
What are white people superior at?
Man.
Oh, God.
What are white people superior at?
Now, look. People are people, right? Can we all agree on that? Can we all agree on that? It's 2020, right? I know everything's inside out, upside down. I know terrible people run the internet and run our world. But I think most of us that are mature and deal with people on a daily basis know that people are people. Doesn't matter what color you are. Doesn't matter what religion you are. There's assholes on every block, right? And in each color. And there's bad people, and there's good people, and there's fat people. And so what are whites superior at? Ice hockey? I don't know. Maybe we're superior at ice hockey because we play a lot more ice hockey. Like, the truth is that's a stupid statement to say, period. Of course it is, because there is no superior race that exists. And if there is a race that thinks they're superior, or a group of people that think they're superior, then those are the racists. If there's one group of people that think they're superior to everyone else and that they're the chosen people, then that is the racist people. It's not the normal people. Now, normal people are tribal, and they're going to feel more comfortable amongst people that look like them, meaning the same color, or ethnicity, or religion, or whatever, right? That's just normal. That's just the way that people are. Not rocket science. But asking this extremely obese person, what are white superior? Like, look, I'm not going to make fun of somebody who's morbidly ill. It's just, these are kind of the last people on planet Earth that I would go to get answers about anything, of course. Right? So if somebody physically looks as bad as, some people do, that's a reflection of upstairs. It's very rare that you have somebody that is grossly obese that is functioning well upstairs. Very rare. Because, of course, healthy body, healthy mind. So the irony of asking this particular person, what are white people superior at? Right? And, of course, what are they going to say, right? Like, what are you going to say? What are whites? Mathematics, I mean, that's racist, right? I mean, like, seriously, what are you going to say? Then what are black people superior at, right? Like, why would you ask such a stupid question, right? And if you were to ask me, I'd say, oh, what, Jesse, what are black people superior? What? I mean, if you're going to ask me, because 2020, ADL and Sacha Baron Cohen and the destruction of freedom of speech and all those things, you can't even have just a fun conversation about these things, especially if you're white, because if you say anything, you're going to be racist right away. And I can say things like, well, blacks tend to be, more physically gifted, perhaps, than whites, more athletic. But that's racist, of course. It's racist. Right? It doesn't, but what would you say anyways? It's like saying, Asians are better at mathematics or something, or, I mean, it's just so silly. It's fine, again, to say maybe have these conversations by yourself or with your friends and whatever, right? I mean, it's normal for people to get together, and whether you want to consider it racist or not. But for a channel that has 10.1 million subscribers, and this video that's gotten over 250,000 views, and considering YouTube is against racist content, and this is clearly racist, I mean, it's not even debatable. So what's going on here, right? Well, different strokes for different folks. So anyways, we'll play a little bit more here.
They just keep talking. Mostly about...
What are white people superior at?
They just keep talking. Mostly about their pets.
White people love their dogs. Like, that's all you see.
Cats, letting them get on your countertops while you're cooking. Yes. I get that you love your pet, but like you need to take it everywhere, like everywhere. I guess, hey, emotional support animals, I guess.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Fuck, man, like making cereal.
Casserole.
Making cereal. It's the whole thing, though. It's not white people. It's some people are better at things because they apply themselves. Some people are not, brain dead, idiotic, mind controlled fat bodies who have no ability to think critically about anything. Some people are not like that. Some people actually work hard and they achieve things. And so those people are better at those things. Some people are better, say, at art because they either, you can have a gift in art, but you still have to practice and you still have to learn a lot, but because they apply themselves to it, right? Some people are better at chemistry, but that's also a matter of studying hard and applying yourself and learning these things. It has nothing to do with someone's color, whether they're better at something or not. It's just so ridiculous. But look at the idiotic sort of responses. And I mean, are these candid responses? Who really cares? I mean, who are these people anyways, right? Are they actors? Are they just people that they rolled into the studio? It doesn't really matter, does it?
Fuck, man, like making cereal.
Casseroles.
What kind of casserole?
Tuna. It's
Okay,
always
I
tuna.
guess it's casseroles, so white people are better at making tuna casseroles. Well, isn't that racist then? Wouldn't that be a racist thing? Are black people better at making shrimp casseroles?
Tuna. What do you mean? It's always tuna.
Using mayonnaise in a lot of their...
This person is lighter skinned than I am, so what's going on here? I don't know.
recipes.
Making bland food.
Making bland food. I was more interested on what her shirt said here. I guess it says she. You never know, though. This could be a non-binary person who identifies as a tablecloth. I don't know. A positive birth experience does not have to be unmedicated. It just needs to be. How weird is that? A positive birth experience does not have to be unmedicated. Who would put out such Who would make a T-shirt like that? I wonder who would make it. I wonder who would make a website like this website here. Cut. Cut is your favorite channel. Is it? It's not my favorite channel. And you've got old white ladies smoking a bong. And a little kid here. You can't really see what's fully in the screen here, but I mean, what's going on here? Since, like, is it okay to show people? I guess so, you know? I mean, it's so crazy when you think about it. But this is their website here. And right away you see Black Lives Matter, and we are the next great storytelling company. No, you're not. You're just awful. That's what you are. But talk is cheap, so check out our work. And then this is what they're connected to. Cut, hi ho, this matters, 100 years of beauty. And they have the prerequisite YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, sponsorship, jobs. And yeah, it's basically butt feed, you know? It's just another rebranding of butt feed. And yeah, so go to their brands here for a second. We see the old women smoking the bong. And I'll tell you this, YouTube community, I do enjoy marijuana, but I would never, ever in a million years promote it. So what kind of a website would put up a bunch of old ladies smoking marijuana? They've got the kids eating junk food here. Every kid, including the one inside of each of us, needs imagination and curiosity about the world. Hi-Ho promotes empathy through play. Interesting. I've covered Hi-Ho before, by the way. And I've covered The Cut before. This matters. The news tells us what happens. When we need to know, this matters. We decide, celebrate, advance, and solve these issues. I wonder if it's really black people that are behind this. I wonder. 100 Years of Beauty. It's interesting that they actually show a white woman when they show beauty. A face from the past teaches us everything about the present in our instantly viral classic beauty time-lapse. Why is it instantly viral? Who controls the internet? And they got on the bottom here, they got the, I can't really fit this. I'll try to fit this in here. That's interesting. Isn't that a Jewish candle? Fear pong, truth or drink. They got people getting wasted here. And then they're doing something with little kids. They got somebody playing VR. And then they got a black person dressed up as a hot dog. So anyways, back to the video here. Whoop, that's the website.
Bland food.
Unseasoned chicken.
How you gonna start whole spice wars and don't even use seasoning on your food? I mean, come on.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Smelling funky.
Santa Claus.
Interesting. The girl there too, if you take a look. This one, she has like a KKK person, hooded person with a shotgun. That's a little bit interesting, isn't it?
Santa Claus. Extreme water sports.
Corn mazes.
White people are great at having fun.
Why is this the only one that has some really bizarre mask on? I don't understand the mask, but it's like this is the only one that's wearing the mask. He's got the X on his shirt here. Well, that's what they want to do with your lives. Interesting.
The function of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
White people.
Function of
Extreme water sports.
Corn mazes.
White people are great at having fun. That's a function of white supremacy because they just
So white people are great at having fun. That's a function of white supremacy because they don't have as much to worry about, I think he said. Honestly. And you just look at the cast of characters they put forth here. I mean, there's almost nobody here that looks like somebody that I would go to advice for anything. It's not being racist, it's being honest. These don't look like healthy people for the most part. Just put that back.
Of white supremacy because they just don't have as many stresses as we do.
White people are very
So yeah, white people have more fun or better at having fun because that is a reflection of white supremacy because they don't have as many stresses as we do. Does that make sense to you? White people are better at having fun. Defund, disrupt, dismantle. I don't know. I don't know.
Stresses as we do.
White people are very superior at their privilege and utilizing it. We do not have the privilege to do whatever and however we want to.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Not getting arrested.
I was driving down the street.
It's probably the only honest answer. I could take that, right? Yeah, that's actually kind of funny, not getting arrested. But yeah, I mean, let's continue here. It's just nuts.
I was driving down the street with down the highway with a friend of mine who was white, and he was like, I'm just want to pull over and pee, and I'm in the passenger seat, and I was like, please don't, because a black man thinks differently. If I pull over to the side of the road and pee, a cop is going to be right behind me to punish me.
What exactly are white people superior?
If I pull over to the side of the road, take a pee, and a cop came by, I'd be arrested. In fact, I have been hit for that before in the past. More than once. And I did a lot of road trips when I was younger. So, again, I understand that, that blacks are have this sort of situation where they face a greater chance of being discriminated, or it has been programmed, that's probably the proper way of saying it, or it has been programmed into their minds that they need to fear all the time, that they're always going to be, say their names, right? And again, yes, in the past, that was certainly true. I think it's not as true these days. I think now, obviously, with what you see going on, that Black Lives Matter and every single police force having to, have these, these watchdog groups on them and everything else. So what exactly are white people superior at? Let's see what this one says.
Insecurity, pretending, fear, being fearful of nothing.
Okay, you see, I mean, fear, insecurity, right? All these things,
Being ignorant.
Being
letting their
ignorant.
egos control their every move. Privilege.
Letting their egos control their every move. Privilege. Look at this one. You better wake your ass up.
Privilege, killing victim.
Yeah, privilege.
Playing the victim.
Playing the victim.
Shit that they're incompetent at, or that should have already been done.
They're superior at being dicks. What is that?
Again, most of these things could just be applied to, like, first of all, most of these people, right? Like, let's be honest. Most of these people, they don't look healthy. Okay, so they don't throw stones. You live in a glass house, kind of thing, right? Secondly, as I mentioned before, most of these are just things that you can attribute to an individual person, right? Who could be of any color, of any race or ethnicity or whatever, right? It doesn't matter. If you stereotype, then you are committing racism, aren't you not? Right, YouTube community? So how is it they're able to get away with this type of crap? Right? Because, I mean, you don't know black people that are of these types of, derogatory sort of characteristics that you're flinging around. Fearful, idiotic, stupid, right? Egotistical, whatever. All the different things that they're saying in here.
Privilege, killing
Privileged.
Playing the victim.
Congratulating themselves over shit that they're incompetent at, or that should have already been done.
They're superior at being dicks.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Oppression, gaslighting,
Lack of empathy.
intellectualizing oppression.
Did I say oppression?
They're just creatively thinking of new ways of always staying one step ahead of other people. We're getting rid of slave catchers. Then
It's interesting she says slave catchers, and this is what I was focusing on. Right? It's interesting. Interesting symbolism. Of course, it's not look at this one is all dolled up sort of thing, right? They brought out the makeup and all that, so this one was probably chosen to read off these lines. That's what I would speculate, YouTube community. I know how these things are done.
Ahead of other people. We get rid of slave catchers, then let's just expand the police force. Like, that stuff to me is wild.
What exactly are white people superior at? Making us believe that we don't matter.
Believing that they're superior.
Feeling superior.
Thinking they're superior.
Thinking that they're superior.
That doesn't happen. I mean, there's very few white people I know that think they're superior to anything. In fact, I would say most white people I see on a daily basis probably feel like they're the most inferior people on the planet. They walk around looking so utterly, soulless and lost, and it's kind of the opposite what you see, because of course the media is telling them that they're the worst people in the world every single day, and they're making videos like this and promoting them on YouTube, So I don't know what his shirt says. Acre thou killam telf. I don't know. But you just look at these people and you're just like, I wouldn't even. I don't know. I want to be polite. I don't want to I also want to bitch slap at the same time, but these are not. They don't look like good people. Like in the sense that they don't look healthy mentally and physically for the most part. They look confused and they look weak. They look soft. They look insecure. So in many ways, if you were to take a group of black people that were full of confidence, were healthy, and you were to ask them honestly, not scripted, this same question, you probably get a whole round of different answers from those people, and probably think out their answers a lot more, and maybe they wouldn't buy into it. Maybe they would say, well, that sounds kind of racist, doesn't it? But these people do not look well for the most part, and that's typical of this website and ButtFeed in general. They promote alcoholism. They promote, of course, sexualizing of children. They promote the LGBT plus XYZ, and they're promoting that massively amongst the black people, of course. Black Training Lives Matter and all that. So yeah, it's an interesting. I think these things are fascinating in terms of how bizarre they are and how hypocritical they are in so many ways.
Feeling superior.
Thinking they're superior.
Thinking that they're superior.
Thinking that they are superior.
Self-delusion. Controlling the narrative.
Believing their own press.
Marketing of white superiority.
Whether you are Republican, whether you're Democrat, whether...
you better wake your ass up. Seriously. And when you have those problems, when you're so confused, say, about your gender, your sexuality and stuff like that, it doesn't, to have a clear conscience and to be able to intellectually look at things and process them requires that clarity. It requires that confidence, and it requires that physical and mental fitness. And when you have a bunch of people that don't look well, don't sound very intelligent at all, and they're saying, basically, if you were to flip it and say, so what exactly are black people superior? Well, it would be the most hated video in the history of the world, and it would be deemed racist from here to Timbuktu. You get the story. So how is this kosher? I wonder. So yeah, keep it 100.
Conservative, white people are really good at upholding white supremacy.
How about claiming that, they are actually a whole separate race, when actually white DNA comes from the black female?
So what exactly are white people superior?
Honey, lying, stealing, and cheating.
Manipulation.
Lying,
withholding information.
Imagine a white person said that. Lying, stealing, and cheating. It's like, what? It is what it is. Again, you just look at these people. And this is so typical for ButtFeed, right? And it's all ButtFeed. I know it's not technically ButtFeed, but it's ButtFeed, right? It's the same mentality. And again, for the black people out there, because this should be offensive to black people, and any black person that sees this must realize the hypocrisy and, not only that, but look at how awful these people look for the most part. Most of them look just terrible. Healthy body, healthy mind. It's just, and again, I don't want to, You know, like, I feel sorry. I don't go around laughing at fat people, right? Sometimes I'll make jokes and then I feel bad because I know some of my listeners are obese and stuff like that. And I don't want to make them feel bad, right? I'm not the type of person. When I was a kid, and I think back to a kid and I was like, you know, a popular kid, and, you know, you would do things that sometimes you wouldn't realize would hurt other people's feelings. And I learned that really young. I learned like a long, long time ago that don't do things to hurt people. Like don't insult people. Like don't like a fat person, right? Don't go up and laugh at them or make fun of them or put them down because they're already down. You know, that's not, and that's bad karma and it's everything. It's just a bad thing to do. But it's still, when you watch something like this, you know, you can't help but say, you know, you don't look well. You know, maybe you should cancel the Netflix, stop going to, you know, Dunkin' Donuts and KFC, and start getting yourself in shape and start opening some books. And first and foremost, unsubscribe from this hideous channel. Unsubscribe from your controllers, your mind controllers, because they're not making you better. And I'll show this in a second. If anybody's confused about this, I mean, you shouldn't be confused when you saw the old lady smoking the bong. I mean, what the hell is that crap? Like, seriously? Like, why would you promote that shit? Why would you promote, like, never would I promote drugs or alcohol. Even though I take drugs and I do drink, I'm very responsible with that stuff. But I would never, ever promote it because, in my humble belief, it's wrong. It's very wrong to promote that stuff. And especially if you have access to children and stuff like that. And so you see, and let me, one of the things I should more reiterate or point out with this website and this YouTube channel is they promote awful, toxic fast food and junk food. Right? It's like Keith eats everything on the menu, or the typical YouTuber, like I drove through and I ordered everything on the menu, or, you know, like all the butt feed media, right? Men try women's stockings, men try women's clothes and bras and swimsuits and, you know, the try guys. And you wonder who makes all this stuff, right? I'm not sure if it has anything to do with the people that run YouTube, but videos like this are blatantly racist. And racism, like, you cannot say, well, racism doesn't exist for white people because they've had it too good for too long. Therefore, we can say whatever we want about them. No, racism, if you're going to do it, if you're going to make a term, you're going to say racism, it has to be applied evenly all the time. Otherwise, it has no merit, right? You can't use the term because then, you know, well, if it can't apply to these people, if somebody else can act like a complete jerk and insult you and, you know, insult your race to your face and they can get away with it, and then if a white person does it, they end up in prison and their life is ruined or something like that. It's not fair at all, and it's wrong. It's hypocritical. It destroys the whole thing. So you have to wonder, right? Like this, and again, like, if black people think a website or a YouTube channel like The Cut are for them, no, they want to turn you into these people. That's what they want to do. They don't want to make you strong. They don't want to make you critical thinker. They don't want you to read all kinds of books and work out and, you know, eat really good foods and watch your diet. No, they want you to eat all the crap. They want you to drink all the booze. They want you to take all the drugs. And they want you to be confused about your sexuality. Yeah. 100%. So, yeah, I hope the good black people that would watch this understand this.
Telling lies.
What kind of lies?
The lies of history. They say that history is written by the victor, but the victor could be replaced by the colonizer.
What are white people superior at?
Conquering.
Imperialism.
Colonizing. Colonialism.
Colonization. They might be better at that than us and everybody else.
Yeah, well, you know, it happened in Africa too, right? I mean, most of the slaves that came over were sold by black slave owners, okay? They don't tell you about that. They don't tell you who ran most of the ships either, because you're not allowed to talk about our controllers, right? But the slave trade is still alive and unfortunately thriving in Africa to this day. There's still millions of slaves there. And you could say that Europe went through. So why imperialism? Well, it's complicated, but also the Chinese were massive imperialists as well, and the Japanese later were massive imperialists, especially in the 20th century. So you go back throughout history, you can say the Romans were imperialists, but you can say Africans were imperialists as well. And, you know, Europe went through the Great Industrial Revolution and modernized and developed steam engines and stuff like that, and were able to get to other parts of the world faster than other people were. And is it because white people are smarter? No. Is it because white people are better? No. It's just the way it worked. It could have easily worked with the black people instead, and having the whites as the slaves. And by the way, slavery comes from Slavic people. It comes from the term for Slavic. So slavery, when in Roman times, right, it was mostly white people that were slaves. So it's only, more recently that in America it was blacks, but slavery has been something that's been around for thousands and thousands of years, unfortunately, and it still is. Most of the white countries that you're supposed to hate, of course, and that the Kalergi plan is happening full, have long ago outlawed slavery. So, maybe go look in your own backyard, or, I know it's not technically your backyard, but, Africa itself, where there's still a lot of that stuff going down. So anyways, colonization. Well, give them a script, right?
They ballsy. They rose up all over the world, and they walk into everybody's house and says, "Oh, this is nice. I'm gonna take your shit," and they have no qualms about it. They can take anything, baby.
What exactly works?
Yeah, like if that ever happens, like seriously, who does that? It's just idiocy, right? I don't even comprehend what this thing is saying.
They rose up all over the world.
They rose up all over the world.
And they walk into everybody's house and says, "Oh, this is nice. I'm gonna take your shit," and they have no qualms about it. They can take anything, baby.
What exactly are white people superior at?
They're real good at violence, genocide. It's like stealing people's
They're really good at violence and genocide. I mean, listen to how awful this is. Seriously? Like, just flip it. Put somebody else there instead of white people. Put black people. How would that go down? Put Muslims. How about putting Jewish people? Oh, whoa. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is just awful. And shame on all these people. Like, it doesn't excuse you if you're just taking an acting job. Doesn't excuse you. Sorry. You have to have better judgment with this crap. This crap is just evil. It's awful. And the people that are responsible for this crap are the people that are causing all the decay and destruction and chaos and bringing in this new world order. So be careful what you wish for.
lives just because they feel like it. If you are white and you know this is happening and you say nothing, then you're a killer too. You are adopting a whole
killer. You're a killer too. If you're white, you know this is happening. What's happening? You don't even tell us what's happening. If you're white and you know this is happening and you don't do anything else, do anything about it, then you're a killer too. I guess I would assume he's talking about black people being killed by police. So, and this is the whole thing. Well, you have to do something about it. And it's like, no, what do you mean? Every single case that happens where somebody gets killed, there's usually, it's completely different, and each one has to be taken in the proper context and has to be weighed. Because if you break a lot of these killings down, sometimes the police had no choice. And I'm not here to excuse police violence or police racism towards black people, but I mean, it's not the fault of every white person on the planet that some black people get shot. And a lot of them are involved in crime and are using guns and are hurting potentially other people, or could be in the process of actually potentially killing other people. Anyways, let's put it back here. Try to see what he says. There's this Santa Claus guy here.
white and you know this is happening and you say nothing, then you're a killer.
It's weird too, because it's almost like he sounds like he's like 30 years old, right? This is the butt feed diet. This is what will happen though if you eat horrible foods and you do all the things that drink or dare or truth or drink or whatever these shows that they do. And I'll show you in a second here, but I mean, maybe that would age you pretty quickly. I don't know.
You are adopting a whole philosophy that says it's okay to do this. And part of that philosophy allows you to be ignorant, right? And they're like, oh, I didn't know.
What exactly are white people superior at?
Taking what's not there. Taking shit.
Taking our ideas.
Copycatting.
Gentrification.
Appropriating things that do not belong to them.
Taking over other people's cultures and making
Appropriating things that don't belong to them. Isn't that funny how that works? Of course. Taking things that don't belong to them. And like, which white people are doing this today? Come on. Seriously? And who cares? And the whole appropriation thing, the whole blackface thing is a whole psyop in itself as well. And they carefully choreographed that. I'm not saying that I wasn't horrible, racist, whiteface things done, but they've done whiteface many times as well, a la Saturday Night Live and whatnot, right? This is what our controllers do. They pit us all against each other, right? They're not making you healthier. They're not making you smarter. They're not making you more successful as people. They're actually helping keeping you down, because look at the garbage that they push on you. I mean, this is the pure truth about something like cut, is that it tries to sell itself as like, oh yeah, black 100, keeping black in America, black, all this. But look at the people. And we'll take a look in a second, because I've covered cut before. In fact, one of the most disgusting videos I've ever seen in my life, and it is on BitChute. As far as I know, it's on my BitChute. So if you want to go and check this out, it's from a couple years ago, and it was the cut in which they had a family getting wasted, right, at a table, and then doing truth or drink or whatever, right? And they actually asked the parents, who were interracial. I just want you to think about this. This is the cut. They asked the parents, the alleged parents, because it's probably all acting anyways, but they asked the parents, when they got them wasted, they asked them to simulate having sex in front of their children. This YouTube channel. And I couldn't believe it. I almost threw up. I was like, are you serious? What kind of a website would get people wasted and then ask them to, carry out simulated sex in front of their children? What kind of people would do that thing, YouTube community? What type of people would do that type of crap? Well, I know what type of people would do that type of crap. These people. The butt feed.
You believe that they invented it.
Maybe they're thinking of it as repurposing. It's like recycle and repurpose.
As my grandma would say, the white folk, they'll take it if you don't copyright it.
They are very good at destruction of land, destruction of people, destruction of humanness.
What exactly are white people superior at?
White people are not superior with anything.
Nothing.
Nothing.
There's nothing.
Nothing.
I don't believe that they're superior in any way, shape, or form. Just because our skin color is different, you're no better than me. You're no smarter than me.
That's the way you should have just done it. If everyone said that, I wouldn't have a problem with it. Everyone just said, what are white people better at or superior at? Nothing. Fine. Good. I agree. There you go. I agree wholeheartedly. It's all up to the individual anyways. One of my favorite hockey players in the world is a black guy named PK Subban. I mean, right? It doesn't matter what color you are. It has nothing to do. It's upstairs. It's how you carry yourself as a human being. It's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. And here's their... Look at this. People who menstruate. People who menstruate. People who menstruate. What? People who menstruate. Because now they will eventually ban the term women. You know this. So instead of, and this is what, the tampon makers do and the media does and the Twitterverse does, is they'll say people who menstruate instead of saying women. Because if you say women, you're not being inclusive enough. So you say people who menstruate. Talk to us about. Because there might be 1 out of a million that's somebody that's changed their gender and now they're a man, but they still menstruate, sort of thing, or they're man, quote unquote. This is what democracy looks like, as you can see. Go vote.
I was in 8th grade. I remember like just having kind of a mild stomach ache and going to the bathroom and just being like, oh, did I accidentally shit my pants or is this period blood?
So Black Stories Matter. This is their Truth and Drink. Just think about this. Truth and Drink. Why, like, I don't understand how this is, why, okay, I understand, you know, you're going to censor people like me all the time, YouTube community, because we're a bit too truthful. But when we look at society that pushes alcoholism, and no community, no group of people in North American history, or you could say maybe the Aboriginals, but they're a smaller percentage, but no group of people has suffered more from the effects of alcohol than black people. And these utter, unbelievable hypocrites, disgusting pukes, are promoting massive amounts of alcoholism on blacks. Fear pong. And, like, fear pong. Drink blood. Look at this crap. Drip hot wax on your opponent. And they got the clown thing, guess my phobia, teachers guess who, and then these are some of the associated websites that they have here. Fear pong, truth or drink, keep it 100, 100 yob, line up. It's all butt feed. Hi-ho kids, and I've covered them before.
How would you battle the coronavirus, Koji?
I'm like using kids to promote their, and look at the junk food. Look at the junk food that they promote to kids. Kids meet a dating coach. What? Kids meeting a dating coach? Kids meet a virologist here who's making satanic. Look at that. He's making satanic. Unbelievable. Kids try their mom's pregnancy cravings. Kids first time changing diapers. You can see them making them change diapers because they'll be so turned off from having a baby kind of thing. But yeah, you just see how they go after your kids. And boy, oh boy, do they ever. Really is out of this world. Cut is the name of the website / YouTube channel. And they promote and they sell games like Fear Pong, in which they get you to do the truth and dare or drink and dare sort of thing, right? Or truth and drink or whatever, right? Getting people wasted. It's just really disgusting, this type of stuff. And yeah, these people are, I'm sorry, YouTube community, this is just an awful YouTube channel. If you're going to censor people, YouTube community, maybe you should try going after these people for once. Maybe you should actually try and do something good for once in terms of censorship. Because you won't allow anybody to have freedom of thought or freedom of alternative opinions, but you allow this crap to be promoted everywhere. And it's blatant racism. It is blatant racism. There's no other way to cut it. Ironically. Pun intended. Right? It's just awful, hideous mind control. And again, the people that watch this type of content will benefit in no way, shape, or form. No way, shape, or form will you benefit from this. You're never going to benefit too if you're say you're of a minority and you think that whites have all the power, and even though every single program, every single corporation is out there hiring ethnic minorities and sexual minorities and gender confused people and whatnot before anyone, and the last people that they'll hire on planet Earth are actually white males, right? But you'll believe that you're a victim, and what happens with this mindset is that it's a cop-out, because instead of working extra hard, instead of accepting challenges in life and rising up to them and realizing, yeah, it's the challenge that actually gets you over the hump. It's the challenge that makes you better. To sit on the couch and eat a bag of potato chips, anybody can do that. They can sit on the couch, eat a bag of potato chips, and let their brain rot watching television. But to actually get outside and exercise and to challenge yourself, that's how you make yourself better. And they don't want you to be better at all. They want you to be worse. So these websites and these YouTube channels are toxic for black people. They're toxic for all people. There's no question that this is evil stuff, YouTube community, and I wouldn't call it out otherwise. And yeah, you could say maybe I take it easy on them because of the level of censorship that exists today. But in the past, I really would bitch slap these ones. It's just a different era now, the way things are with the censorship and all that. And I wanted this to go up on YouTube because I think as many people as possible should see it and call it out. And there's a reason why they have turned off the comments, because people are disgusted with this crap. And look at the one of the worst approval ratings I've ever seen here. This channel and these people behind this are evil people. That's all there is to it. And they are not your friends, black people. These are not your friends. These are your enemies. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. I hope you got something out of it. And if you do like the work that I do and you want to support the channel, the Patreon link's in the description. I really appreciate that. And of course, I will see you guys all on the bone broth. Yeah, we're going to have the bone broth, which will be Friday night. So I don't know, by the time this goes up, probably tonight at 10 p.m. Eastern on the main channel. Much love to you all. Be the change you want to see. Stand up to this crap. Call out these controllers. Call out this horrible manipulation that is happening. See you guys all in the next one.